Hello and welcome to the Evercade Retreat. My name is Gene Joke and today I'm ranking and reviewing the Bitmap Brothers Collection 1 for the Evercade. I have completed and played extensively every game on this collection, something I do on every cartridge before I do a ranking video. However, as this is an older collection, I'm not going to go in depth on the games, more reflect my personal experience and my thoughts on them, and say offer a ranking in order of preference from worst to best, in my opinion. And on that note, it should go without saying, this is just like my opinion, man. Starting at the bottom of the pile, we have Xenon 2 Mega Blast. On the Amiga, it's a well-regarded game, considered by some as a classic, particularly for the music, vibe on the bass. The graphics are quite nice with a memorable looking alien shopkeeper. It's a vertical scrolling shoot 'em up and, in my opinion, not a very good one. This is the Mega Drive port and it's even worse. It lacks the best feature of the Amiga game, the music, and generally it's a piss poor shooter. I know people like it, it has fans, but I can't see why. I never thought it was good back in the day and I like it even less now. So yeah, this one's not a recommended game, easily the worst on the collection. Next up we have Speedball. This is a Sega Master System port of the game. I've never played any other version. I had this one back in the day and I made sure I enjoyed it. I had previously played Speedball 2 on the Amiga, got this one and did my best to enjoy it. The other versions which I haven't played I hear are faster and have some more game modes. This one's a bit sluggish, it doesn't look particularly good for a Master System game, nothing awful but not great. The sound and music is it's alright. And that's pretty much how I'd explain the game as a whole. It's alright but nothing special, and why would you play it when there's better Speedball games in the collection? Next up is Speedball 2100. This is a PlayStation 1 game and it's the only game from the collection that I'd never played before. I was interested in checking it out, I just never got around to it. I remember the reviews at the time were fairly mediocre. Having played it, it's largely Speedball 2 with some added bells and whistles. However, I think it's lost something in the transition. The gameplay isn't as fast and frantic. The 3D graphics lack the charm of the 2D sprites of Speedball 2. And overall, it's basically Speedball 2, but not as good. The only improvement is the controls, as there's more buttons, whereas Speedball 2 only used one. But other than that, it's Speedball 2, but not as good. Which brings us right along to Speedball 2. Which is a game I first played on a friend's Amiga, absolutely loved it. Wanted to get it for myself but I couldn't find a copy anywhere, so I ended up buying it on the Sega Mega Drive sometime later, and that's the version we have on the Evercade. In comparison to the Amiga version, the pitch graphics are slightly different, but otherwise pretty much visually the same. The sound has taken a bit of a downgrade, but it's a minor issue. Gameplay wise, it's pretty much like for like. I couldn't tell you any difference myself, but it's been a long time since I played the Amiga version. It's a great future sports game, my favourite of the genre, although I haven't played many for a long time. So yeah, this one definitely gets a thumbs up from me and is one of the highlights of the collection. And finally we have the Chaos Engine, which as you can tell by its placement is my favourite game on the collection. I have nostalgia for it, but back in the day I didn't love it. I really liked the visual style, I liked the music, but I found it difficult and couldn't really get into it. I first played it on a friend's Amiga where I had a blast with it. I got it for myself on the Super Nintendo, and yeah, I kind of got stuck with it, found it a bit difficult. Interestingly, on the Super Nintendo and on the Mega Drive it was called Soldiers of Fortune because they don't like good titles apparently. Anyway, it's a really good game where you always have an AI follower if you're not playing multiplayer. It's a good satisfying blast, it's a challenge and definitely the best game on the collection, and it's one of my most replayed games on the Evercade as a whole. Looking at the collection as a whole, I think it's a hard one to recommend, unless you have nostalgia for these games and don't mind that they're the console ports. The problem is there's only 5 games on the collection, and really only 2 of them are genuinely good. One is decent and the other 2 are pretty poor, and on top of that, with 3 games being Speedball, it makes 2 of those redundant. So I say it's a hard sell for a lot of people, I can completely understand that, but for me it's absolutely worth the price of admission. I don't regret buying it, and it was one of the cartridges that made me seriously consider getting an Evercade in the first place. To score the cartridge I'd give it 6 out of 10. Although I really like two of the games, the others drag it down. I don't think it's a very well-rounded cartridge. Anyway, that's enough for this review, so let's go out with a song.
Facing nightmares, breaking dreams. The final battle, the Baron's plea. In the chaos, we find our destiny.